Have you ever jumped back an alarm at a garden hose, momentarily convinced it was a snake? Or felt a surge of dread from a harmless shadow? It's a common human experience, fearing something that logically can't hurt you. This isn't just an odd quirk. It's a profound window into the incredible, often illogical, workings of your brain. Today, we're going to uncover the hidden psychology behind these primal, irrational fears. The reason you leap before you think lies deep within your brain's ancient architecture. Our fear response isn't always a product of conscious reasoning. Often, it's an automatic, lightning-fast reaction designed for survival. This primal alarm system kicks into gear long before your rational mind even has a chance to catch up, acting as a rapid defense mechanism. Groundbreaking work by neuroscientist Joseph Ledoux revealed just how fast this system operates. He discovered that fear signals race to your amygdala, the brain's emotional processing center, in an astonishing 12 milliseconds. That's faster than your conscious brain can even register what you're seeing or experiencing. It's a testament to evolution's prioritization of speed over accuracy in moments of potential danger. Think of it as two parallel roads for information. The low road is the superhighway directly to your amygdala, allowing for instant, reflexive responses. The high road takes a scenic detour through your cortex, your conscious thinking brain, which processes information more thoroughly, but also more slowly. Your initial jump is the low road. Your subsequent realization that it's just a hose is the high road. This split-second processing means your body can initiate a fight-or-flight response, tensing muscles, increasing heart rate, before you've even consciously identified a threat. It's an evolutionary marvel that, for our ancestors, meant the difference between life and death. A rustle in the grass could be a predator, and it was better to react first and analyze later. So, when you experience that sudden jolt of fear from something harmless, understand that your brain is just doing its job, albeit an old one. It's an automatic, deeply ingrained survival mechanism designed to keep you safe in a world that once held far more immediate, physical dangers than our modern environments do. Your brain is wired for quick, defensive action. While some fear responses are hardwired, many specific fears are actually learned or conditioned. This crucial insight was dramatically demonstrated in one of psychology's most infamous and controversial experiments, John Watson's Little Albert study in 1920. It proved that fears aren't always innate. They can be quickly taught, even in infants. Watson presented an 11-month-old infant, Little Albert, with a white rat. Initially, Albert showed no fear. But then, every time Albert reached for the rat, Watson struck a loud steel bar behind him. The jarring noise frightened Albert, and after just a few trials, Albert began to cry and show fear simply at the sight of the white rat, even without the noise. What's even more fascinating and disturbing is that this conditioned fear quickly generalized. Albert didn't just fear the white rat. He began to fear anything white and furry, a rabbit, a dog, a fur coat, and even a Santa Claus beard. This experiment starkly illustrated how easily fears can be created and then spread to similar, but unrelated, stimuli. This phenomenon isn't confined to a lab. Think about a child who gets bitten by a specific dog and then develops a fear of all dogs, or even all animals. A traumatic experience can program your brain to associate a specific stimulus with danger, and then that fear can expand, creating a wide-ranging phobia that feels completely out of your control. Understanding conditioned fear is powerful because it explains how something seemingly innocuous can trigger intense anxiety. It's not always about a direct, logical threat. It's about the connections your brain has made. These connections, once formed, can be incredibly stubborn, making you fear things like certain sounds, places, or even specific textures. While the Little Albert experiment showed fears can be conditioned, It doesn't explain why some fears are far more common than others. Why do so many people have a crippling phobia of spiders or snakes, but not of electrical outlets or cars? Even though modern dangers kill far more people annually. This is where the concept of prepared fears comes in. Evolutionary psychologists found that humans have prepared fears, meaning we are biologically predisposed to more easily develop phobias of certain things. Our ancestors who quickly learned to fear venomous snakes and poisonous spiders were more likely to survive and pass on their genes. This genetic legacy makes us extra sensitive to these ancient threats. It's not that we're born explicitly fearing spiders. Instead, our brains come equipped with a fast pass for learning these specific fears. If you have a negative encounter with a spider, your brain is pre-tuned to register that as a significant threat and quickly solidify the fear response. More so than if you have a negative encounter with, say, a toaster. This evolutionary advantage meant rapid threat assessment in our ancestral environments. Imagine the sheer survival benefit of quickly identifying and avoiding a coiled snake versus meticulously calculating the danger of a novel, human-made threat like a car. Our brains are simply better at picking up on specific, ancient signals of danger. So, your fear of heights or confined spaces or even social situations might not just be due to a specific bad experience. It could be tapping into these ancient, prepared fear circuits within your brain. Understanding this helps us realize that many of our irrational fears have a very rational, evolutionary root, even if they no longer serve us in the same way. The good news is that just as fears can be learned, they can also be unlearned. Your brain, while predisposed to certain fears, is also incredibly adaptable. This phenomenon, known as neuroplasticity, allows your brain to literally rewire itself, forming new connections and breaking old ones. This is the foundation of powerful therapeutic techniques. The most effective treatment for specific phobias is exposure therapy, developed from Joseph Walp's systematic desensitization in the 1950s. It might sound daunting, but it has a success rate above 80% for specific phobias. The core idea is to gradually expose you to the feared object or situation in a safe, controlled environment, helping your brain learn it's not truly dangerous. Imagine someone with severe arachnophobia. Exposure therapy might start with simply looking at a picture of a spider, then watching a video, then observing a real spider in a jar, eventually leading to safely touching one. Each step, performed until anxiety decreases, teaches the brain that the feared stimulus is actually harmless, extinguishing the old fear response. This process works because it allows your amygdala to receive new, non-threatening information about the stimulus. Over time, the neural pathways associated with fear weaken and new pathways associated with safety strengthen. You're essentially updating your brain's ancient alarm system with current, accurate data, retraining its automatic responses. If you struggle with an irrational fear, remember that it's not a sign of weakness, but a product of your incredible ancient brain. Seek professional help for phobias, but also consider small, brave steps of self-exposure in safe environments. Understanding how your brain creates fear is the first powerful step towards regaining control over it. So, the next time you flinch at a shadow or feel a surge of unease towards something benign, take a moment to appreciate the complex dance happening within your brain. From rapid-fire amygdala responses to conditioned fears and ancient predispositions, our fears are a fascinating testament to our evolutionary past and our brain's intricate wiring. But remember, understanding these mechanisms empowers you to challenge and ultimately overcome them.